Hey family, are we recording? It looks like. I know the bottom of my phone stuck in my cardboard box. High-tech production studio. But I think it's recording. So I want to do another addition to the playlist of music reviews, and it's just kind of a way to share some of my favorite music. It would be impossible to cover every continent, every language, every genre, every composer, every conductor, every singer, because everybody puts a little something of their own into it, right? But I'll just give you the name of the composer of this piece of music, beautiful music, and as it applies to the opera. Here we go. Ready? So it's the name of the aria, A-R-I-A, or you could say song, if that makes it easier to include it in this music review here. That's the name of the song is Una Furtiva Lagrima, or a furtive tear. And the composer is Gaetano Donizetti. Oh, excuse me, Donizetti. My Italian's not very good. Right. Excuse me for any mispronunciations if anybody out there speaks Italian and I offend you with the way I butcher your language. Sorry. So anyhow, here we go. Ready? So in the show notes, I'm going to include all this to include a link to an original. Well, it's a remastered version of an original recording that was done in February 1904 at Carnegie Hall in New York. Very interesting indeed, that date, because this was 1 year after the last reset. So also want to give a big shout out to a guy who has uploaded all of Caruso's recordings, because the recording I'm going to share with you was performed by a guy named Caruso, a very famous opera singer of his time, and still one of the greatest, really, in my humble opinion. And this man, I'm going to probably butcher his last name too, because it looks like it's Scandinavian or Slavic, but it's Tom Frohire. He's uploaded all of Caruso's recordings to a non-profit English website, so where you can learn more about this particular opera singer called Caruso. All right, so here we go. Una furtiva lagrima, a furtive tear, is the romanza, or the romance act, the stanza, the part of the act that is the romance, the romanza, from Act 2, Scene 2 of the Italian opera, The Elixir of Love. And again, by Gaetano Donizetti. And it is sung by Nemorino, or they put Caruso in parentheses because that was his sort of stage name, when he finds that the love potion, rather, not just the stage name, but the actor on the stage. It's really difficult to try to compare the way operas are designed on the stage, the live acts and everything, compared to the way that these things are typically projected at us, in the modern world by way of film. So, so basically, Caruso, he's in love with this lady who doesn't seem to pay him any mind. The name of the lady is Adina, and this lady, she's not interested in a relationship with an innocent rustic man, meaning one who's not moving and shaking and grabbing his briefcase and going to the New York Stock Exchange and doing, you know, hedge fund management and credit default swaps, and, you know, he's just a regular old blue collar kind of guy, right? Anyhow, so she's not interested in a relationship with this innocent rustic man, but to win her heart, he buys a love potion with all the money that he has in his pocket. So this goes back to the thing about sacrifice and what is the thing that we're sacrificing. So, like, let's say, just to switch gears, we'll say the sacrifice could be you're going to abstain from food and or water. You know, whether you do a regular, like a regular fasting or even a dry fast, you know, that would be considered a sacrifice. And then for that level of sacrifice, right, then you reap the benefits. Or first we give and then we receive. And if it's just a little sacrifice, then we're just probably going to receive a little, I don't know, answer to our prayers or coming true of our deepest wishes and desires. I don't know. In this case, this guy's in love with this lady. So that's a big sacrifice, isn't it? To take all the money that's in your pocket and, you know, you're just a regular blue collar guy. You've probably been saving up that money for a long time. And he goes and buys this love elixir, love potion from like a con business traveler guy, like a snake oil salesman, or whatever they call it, like some guy just poured cheap red wine in a bottle and said, hey, this is the elixir of love. But you see, this goes back to the placebo effect, because if you believe that this is an elixir of love, then, you know, chances are it's going to be projected into the field, and the woman that you're trying to win the love of is going to come around to your, especially if you put in this big sacrifice, right? So you got the intention plus the sacrifice, right? This is deep, this is profound. And I'm just scratching the surface here, right? So, but then, at some point, the Caruso character finds that the love potion that he bought to win his dream lady's heart, he finds that it works because if he believed it worked, so then she's gonna, I don't know, it's his intention, it's his elixir, it's his spell, it's his ritual, it's his magic. I mean, here's a cup of tea, I'll take a sip, right? What's if I want to say that this is an elixir of love and give it to someone else? Or maybe I want to say it's an elixir of healing, because I put some prayers and intentions for every one that drinks this to be healthy and happy. And you know, this is important. Intention is everything, especially when you're talking about the sacred water, be that a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever. It's the consciousness, right? Like I said, this is extremely profound, and I don't want to go make this a big, huge, long. I'm going to leave this up for your pondering if you're interested. So, in this next part of the script, if you will, or explanation of what's going on the stage in this particular act, in this particular scene, also makes reference to another opera, which I'm going to share. I'm going to do a quick review on that one. And that one is Nessun Dorma. No, excuse me. I already did. This is a separate one. I just did it the other day. It's not an opera. I mean, there's operas that are written that will talk about these kinds of things, but this one was actually a song that was composed by an Argentine man, called I am not from here and I am not from there. Or I am not here and I am not there. That's also in the movie review. So one of the lines of that song says one of the things he likes is when he sees a woman crying. Now that doesn't mean to say he likes it when somebody's sad. What he's making reference to is that when a woman is in love with a man, that it will come through in the way of a tear. Like I don't know, fill in the blank. Like, let's say the man has to go away for whatever reason. And if the woman sheds a tear at the thought that the man departs, then this is a sign that the man can take that she's in love with him. So it says, the love potion is actually a cheap red wine sold by a con business traveler. But when Caruso sees Adina weeping, he knows that she has fallen in love with him and the elixir has worked. And oops, sorry for the wobbly table. I'm just trying to scroll down through some notes and see if I can find if I have, it says I have 2 pages here, but the glare of this mostly cloudy day on my laptop screen. Let's see. I'm scrolling down here now. Okay. So I'm going to include this in the show notes too, the Italian lyrics and then the English translation, but it basically says, the English translation is a single furtive tear sprang from her eyes. She seemed to she seemed to envy those joyful girls. Like, I guess, you could say, this is his way of saying that she seemed to envy those girls. So like if you're in love with someone, I guess in theory, you're going to envy any competitors, right? So that's a sign that the girl is in love with you. And then he says, what more need I look for? What more need I look for? Of course she loves me. She loves me. I see it. I see it. Just for an instant, the beauty of her beautiful heart I heard, and my sighs became as one fleetingly with her. Her heart beating to hear our sighs confounded as one. And this is sort of, this speaks to each one of our hearts, because within each one of our hearts is this sort of, I don't want to say broken, how do I say? Well, yeah, like a brokenness, like a, I'm not complete, I'm not whole. I need someone else to make me, to reconnect me and give me some meaning to life, right? To say, what is it that I'm here for? And if it's not love, then what is it, right? And then her heart is beating and his sighs confounded together as the heartbeat and the sighs of one. So here's her heartbeat and here's his sighs and here's the thing that they form together to become one. The first geometric shape of life, the triangle, right? The Trinity. The divine masculine, the divine feminine, and that which they create when they come together. Now, this could be with regards to creation or procreation, so don't get too hung up on it. But in this scene, of course, they're projecting it as a love scene between a man and a woman. But nonetheless, He's not referring necessarily to the act of procreation, but rather the potentiality of when her heartbeat and his sighs come together to form a love. Just that's what he says here. Her beating heart. To hear her beating heart and our sighs confounded as one. Heavens, yes, I could. What more could I ask? He says, yes, actually, I could ask for more. I could die. He says, oh heavens, yes, I could. Yes, I could die. More I can't ask. I can't ask. Yes, I could die. If I could die of love. Well, I might just leave that there. How's that? But I'm going to encourage you to click on the link to this original recording. It's very difficult to find original recordings. Very difficult. So have a listen to this when you have a chance, and let it inspire you, I suppose. And yeah, it's just another one of my favorite Italian composers. All right, family. See you in the dream world. Ciao for now.